Hey there YouTube, Noah here. It's been about 6 months since my last State of the Watch collection, and it's grown a little bit. So let's get into this in a reasonably organized order. Basically I'll go to some of my more often worn watches and things like that, but I just wanted to go through and do a State of the Watch collection before I reorganize and start moving these to my new office, which is going to happen. New displays, all kinds of different things there. Quick off before that, how about a wristwatch check? If I get my camera to focus here, I am wearing a Seiko SNK M97 Recraft watch here. This thing is awesome. This is one of my favorite watches. It's a little bit large for my wrist, but I really do like that with that green dial on there, the gold markers. The strap on this, the bracelet is amazing. It has solid links and just is really high quality compared to some of the other Seiko 5 bracelets and things like that. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get into the watch collection. Quick background on this watch collection. Basically, we buy and sell vintage watches from garage sales, estate sales, etc. We find large lots and we resell some of them. This is kind of our dump pile here of parts, accessories, and cheap watches that are not worth anything. And then here's a good bunch of the watches we have listed. A whole ton to be sure. We mainly deal in lower end watches and just try to find some interesting pieces. Really beginners in the whole field. Our main market is cameras. As you can see, a bunch of camera accessories over there. Vintage film cameras are the main thing that we buy and sell on eBay. But anyway, I'm getting off track. The watches that I have access to through the watch business allows me to pick and choose and buy a lot of different vintage watches, as well as some modern stuff that I like to pick up for my collection. The collection is a combination between watches I wear every day, which is actually most of them, and then some parts ones here that have some interest that are for collection or display, which I'm planning on putting some new displays in my office of different watches and things like that. Starting from early on, I've had a really good interest, or a really big interest, in Casio watches. My first watch here, let's just go find my first watch that I still have. My first watches actually were Timex Ironman Triathlons, which I got when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And those are long gone. I was really roughing my watches. As you can see, this is a Casio Mudman. This was probably one of my first watches there. I think this was my third or fourth, probably third. Mudman, as you can see, it has a cracked display on it. Actually, my little brother threw us at a wall, thinking it was super tough. And it was super tough, as you can see, like almost nowhere on the body. But the display internally cracked, unfortunately. So that's what ended up with that. And then a couple more of my first watches here, or at least milestones in the watch collecting thing. This is another remnant of early watches. I'm a runner, and definitely was more of a runner back when I had this watch here. This is a Garmin Forerunner 205. Kind of a GPS running type watch. As you can see, it sustained some pretty big damage from a RC car crash. I taped this thing to the top of our RC car and it crashed. So that's about where that's ended up. After that, let's talk about the watches that got me into watch collecting. The first analog watch I ever bought was this right here. I had a white DW6900 digital G-Shock at the time, and I really bought this on a whim, on a impulse buy. This is a Casio G-Shock GA100, 1000, somewhere in there. Yeah, GA1000. This is an analog digital, kind of pilot style watch, and I fell for this design here, and that's why I decided to pick that one up. Still in my collection today. I actually have it on a leather strap, which I custom modified to fit there. And that was basically the watch that got me hooked on watch collecting. My first fully analog watch, actually, if I can find it, is over here. There's this Fossil right here. I picked this up at an antique store / thrift store in town. As you can see, the second hand's not running. I need to replace the battery on this one. This is a Fossil FS7744. I always get that number wrong. Something like that. 4774, I believe. The Machine series watch. This got me into analog watches. I picked this thing up, my first analog watch, first fully analog watch. Liked it, liked the design, and after that, I really just went crazy on the watch buying. As you can see, through all these different things here, I bought quite a few different watches over a year. Let's go Just from one side to the other. Let's just go like that. I'll tell you how, when I bought the watch, a little bit about the watch, and why I like it, why it's in my collection. This right here is one of the more dressy pieces that I own. This is a Hamilton Quartz from the 1980s dress watch. I really like the strap and everything on this. Is actually a fairly recent pickup. I picked this up for around $40, so I paid up for this one a little bit, but I really like the design. I need a dress watch, and I've been looking at Hamiltons for a long time. I really want to get a khaki automatic or similar, and actually I'm looking at the X-Wing Pilot watch that they make. So anyway, just wanted to get my foot in the door in Hamilton, pick this one up, wear it pretty often. I really do like that one. Next up here, this one is very gaudy looking on the metal bracelet, in my opinion there. But this is an Orient Crystal, bright blue dial, as you can see there, and the gold band. I would usually wear this on a leather strap, which in that case, it actually looks really nice. I really like this as a dress watch type thing, but this one has the same movement, or very similar as like the Orient Mako or something. This one here, I picked up actually at a Swatch store in Denver. This is a part of their Swatch X Me collection, and it's basically just a customized swatch. You pick all these different things, you stick it together, and there you have a swatch. I've really liked Swatch as a brand for a long time. I'm really a big fan of their vintage pieces, Swatch System 51, etc. So that's one of a couple that I picked up. I'll show you the other ones here in just a minute. I actually am really into cameras, as you can tell through our camera channel. We have a lot of cameras and vintage film stuff. So this is actually a Kodak, official sponsor of the Olympics quartz watch. As you can see, also not running. I need to get some more batteries and replace these here sometime soon. As you can tell, the ones that are not running are not ones that are in my usual rotation. This one actually is the original plastic. It's basically brand new. Just kind of interesting because it's camera related. This here is a really nice Timex. It's actually a dive-styled watch from the 1990s. Has Indiglo and all that. This one is dated from 1997, I believe. Actually had to jimmy rig the battery a little bit to get it to work because the contact was broken on that. So that's a really interesting one that I'd like the styling of. This was actually my brother's watch that he traded me for a Swatch that we got at the Swatch store there. This is a Casio G-Shock. I forget, GA100 or something similar. This is just an analog digital G-Shock. I really like this one. I don't wear it that often. It has kind of a weird small face and a big case. Probably sell that one eventually. I did sell a couple watches since my last wristwatch check. Surprisingly, I sold a Seiko 5 and a Casio G-Shock and a couple other ones there. Next up, picked this one up for $20 at Walmart, or maybe a little bit less. This is a Casio, I forget the exact thing on there, MRW200H. As you can see, I have a different band that's on there, actually, from my other one that I have. This one has paint splattered on it. But this one is a really nice watch, a great watch for the money, 100 meters water resistant, and it looks good for around $20 at Walmart. Next up here, I have a Swatch Stoplight, is what they call this. It has a really cool date wheel around the outside. It's a quartz model from the 1980s, if I remember correctly, 1988 or 1987, somewhere in there. Have a pink little bezel protector. Now, what do they call those things? I don't know what they call them, but I have one of those for that too. Next up, this is one I don't wear very often. This is a Timex Indigo 30 meters, just watch. I got this from the business, doesn't go for a lot. Mid-90s, late 90s, and that's just in the collection, kind of for display or whatever. This is what I do wear pretty often. I really like this one right here. This is a 1965 or so Timex, water resistant. I actually have a different type of strap on there, which is like half stretch, half band. This is a really cool watch. It measures around 31 millimeters in diameter, has the date complication, which is one of those ones you have to spin all the way around a million times to get it to set the date. So that's kind of crazy, what they call that, non-quick set date. Next up here, I have a Kensington manual wind watch. This one's really cool in military style, around 30 millimeters from the 1950s. It's actually only marked on the inside of the movement what brand this is, but it actually runs really well for its age. The hands are in poor shape and all that, but I like this thing for its character. It looks really cool. I wear that one pretty often. This is one I don't wear very often. This is a Chico's kind of fashion watch. It has an interesting design on it. Doesn't really sell for a lot, so I picked it up. Just a quartz, kind of oddball watch there. Timex Quartz Lithium. I really do like this watch. This is one of my favorite older digital watches. This is basically the perfect Casio watch. If it was made by Casio, it's actually made by Timex. And unfortunately, it's becoming very hard to find because these were made, this one is from the late 80s. So this one works really well, and it's in really nice shape. Definitely holding on to that one for a while. It's a really cool watch. Here's the other MRW200, if that's the proper number, that I have. This one is the one with the paint strap on it, and I got most of the paint off the case, but this one's just on NATO right now. I do like those watches. I picked this one for like $1 at a flea market, so I just picked it up. Next up here, this is one of my favorite field watches. So it's the Sabina watch from the 1950s. It actually runs really well despite the really poor condition. I polished the crystal a little bit, even though it has a good chip out of it there. And it really is a cool watch. I like this one so much. I wear it all the time. Military styled watch from the 1950s, manual wind, Sabina. Next up here, I picked this one up in a mall, probably not my smartest purchase, but I decided to try it out. This is an Aviate Hawker Harrier 2 automatic with the date complication there. I just had wanted to try one of these kind of, I don't know what you call it, China brand automatic watches for a while. Got a fair deal on this one and picked it up. It's a little bit too big for my wrist, 46 millimeter, but it is a pretty cool watch. It's an Aviator watch, so you can get away with that. Next up here, this is one of my earlier pickups too. This is actually a Citizen Eco Drive with sapphire crystal on there. This is a really nice watch. It came on a bracelet, but I put it on this leather strap, so I can use the bracelet elsewhere. 22 millimeter lugs. This thing is solid for the price. Like, I think I paid $70 for it at pawn shop, and I don't know what they retail for, but somewhere just a little bit more than that. I didn't get a great deal, but that is one of my favorite watches right there. Definitely a good everyday wearing watch. This one is definitely more just for the collection than anything else. It does not run, unfortunately. This is a Lucite, and actually they're sort of moving a little bit. Lucite cased watch. You cannot service the movement. You can't open it up. Just a really cool look. Kept it for the collection, put it on a shelf somewhere. This is a cool watch right here. This was a low-end watch from the 1980s during the quartz crisis. This is a Q&Q mechanical, or MEC, made by Citizen. I actually bought this new old stock. I have the original box over there. This thing is in immaculate condition because I've tried to keep it nice after I've taken it out of there. I still wear it. 31 millimeter, kind of a field type watch. Next up, this is one of my favorite watches right here. I'm probably saying that about a bunch of these watches here, but this one is really cool. It's a Kommandarski U-boat watch, as the rotating bezel and just a brilliant blue face, gold case, which is kind of odd, and a leather strap right now. I generally will wear that on a green NATO strap, which I'm trying to figure out what happened to that. It's somewhere around. Maybe it's at home. I don't know. I didn't mention it, but this is probably not all my watches. I think I probably have at least another 5 laying around somewhere. I have a clock, a Bulova clock at home. I have a few other things there. These are just the ones I have on hand right now, so I decided to make a quick video. This right here is a really cool one. This is made by Freestyle, which is around today still, and they make some interesting watches still, but this is a Rage Shark from the 1980s, depth tested 300 feet quartz. As you can see, this is a really cool vintage diver. I like the look of it. It goes with the whole skateboarding theme. I'm a skateboarder / scooter rider / BMX rider. I do all that kind of stuff, so I like that kind of culture from the 80s. Watches and skateboarding usually don't mix, though. Casio F91W. This is a mainstay in anybody's collection. This is a vintage one, as you can see, with the gold bezel there. Really cool. I really do like that watch. I wear it on occasion. This is a Casio, which I've yet to strap. Got this one because it wasn't worth a lot. DB30 or something. AW80, that's what it is. And a Digi, not worth a ton. Has the tele-memo and all that stuff in there. I did a video about these on my channel. These are 2 Casio knockoffs from China. These are knockoffs of the A168 or something similar. And as you can see, they're still running. They're still keeping fair time. Those were $3 for 2 of them. Free shipping from China, so that's really crazy. This is a really cool watch right here, 1998 Swatch, and I don't know the exact model of this one, but basically the Swatch was running a promotion. If you buy, let's see, what was it? It must be if you buy 2 watches, or if you buy 1 watch on their store, you can pick one of these out for only $30. So I picked this one up for 30 bucks. It's actually worth a bit more than that, but I bought new old stock from the 1990s. It was in their shop there. I really like the look of this watch. The more I wear it, the more I like it. That is a really cool one there. And like I said before, my Casio G-Shock, already showed that one. Pulsar, this one I usually also wear on that green NATO strap. Not the bright green one, but like an army green. This is a Pulsar digital watch from the 1990. Actually, 1990 is when this came out. Perpetual calendar and all kinds of other fancy features on this one. I really do like it, especially on the green NATO. It doesn't look quite as good on the black, in my opinion. It came actually on a gold stretch band. You can see it has this kind of odd thing where it flashes all the time on the mode you're in, which right now in alarm mode. But it's just a really nice looking watch. I like older digital watches, and this definitely has that styling going. Next up, this is my priciest Swatch purchase. This is a Swatch System 51. I was really debating between the steel and the other one here. I decided to go, if I'm going Swatch, I'm going crazy. I have so many other watches, I might as well go for something really crazy. We actually have a Jeep that's very similar in color to this. Gecko Green, Jeep Wrangler Rubicon thing, or at least his dad's. But anyway, as you can see, automatic, has the rotor in there, 90-hour power reserve, has the spots and all the jewels in there. You know what System 51 is. System 51 is a really cool watch. Meaning to get one for quite a few years. Finally pulled the trigger on a few Swatches, as you can see, but that one in particular was a good pickup. Next up here, this is one of my favorite finds. This is a 1968 or 69 Timex self-wind, so automatic. vintage watch here. This one runs well, keeps good time. I wear this one very often. Have a vintage style cloth strap on there. Might even be original. I don't remember. Also does not have a quick set date, so that's pretty crazy every time I have to set it. Next up, I have this on the Citizen strap. This Citizen strap is something else. It has solid end links and just solid links in general. It's a very good bracelet for the price. Very impressed. One of the best bracelets I've had in any watch. Not very jangly either. But anyway, Orient Mako Mark 1. I picked this up at a pawn shop for $50 at a fog crystal. I opened it up, wiped off the fog from under the crystal, and it's been working great ever since. Not in perfect shape, but I really do like it. I either wear it on leather, on a NATO, or on this. It's a strap monster. Really. This is one of the earliest watches I picked up, and one of my favorite, really. A Casio Quartz AQ. I don't even remember the name. AQ38? Yes, it is. This is an analog digital from the 90s. Hard to find in the red coloring there. I got a strap from Walmart that fits it. This is a really cool watch. I like that one. It fits kind of like the pop theme. I really like that whole thing. This got my sports/running watch. This is a great deal for what it is. I think actually my brother picked up $15 at Walmart on sale, or $10 at Walmart. They retail for $40 or $50. But anyway, either way, 200 meters, water resistant, twin sensor. It's basically like a fairly spec G-Shock for a great deal. I use it for running/other sports. It's a good, resilient, durable watch. That's not G-Shock. Let's move over to this other table here. These are not necessarily lower end watches, but these are other watches that either don't have straps or I haven't really done a lot with. They've been sitting around for a little while. A lot of the straps that are on those watches came off of these ones here. And let's just start with this right here. This is my desk clock. I have this on my desk all the time. This is a Seiko Quartz World Time thing. It has a really cool airplane that spins around there. That's a super cool desk clock. I picked up at the flea market for like 15 bucks. I kind of have a thing for fake watches that you find at flea markets, especially really bad fakes. Kind of just put in my collection. This is an Aquatech G-Shock knockoff. That thing is hideous compared to normal G-Shocks. It's funny. Anyway, and then I have some more fakes over here. This is a Rolex, Datejust. I don't know. I just have some miscellaneous things. We pick up in the watch business. You can't sell fake watches on eBay. So I happen to accumulate quite a few of those. I should probably get rid of them at some point. I never wear these watches. They're interesting for display. Like this one here is a Seiko Diamond. This is not actually a Seiko. This is made by a company called Swanson, and it's a fake. Ha! Isn't that something else? Faking Seikos. And this one here is, this is why I like flea market fakes though. Look at this right here. Hard to see below the cracked crystal. This is a Sekio 5. Or Sekio S. I can't even remember. Automatic 21 jewel is actually a hand wind watch. And it's in really poor condition, as you can see. Does not work, day, whatever. But anyway, it's a fake Seiko 5. That's just crazy from the 1980s. Flea market knockoffs tend to be pretty low end, and that one definitely is. Rolex, another fake Rolex. That thing is pretty cheap. No good fake Rolexes in here, and I wouldn't wear a fake Rolex if I had a good one. I'd really just, why would you wear a fake watch? It's just ridiculous. Casio Forester. There we go. That is a interesting watch. Again, another beater of mine. That is wear sometimes for certain things. Camping watch almost. Over here, I have that Mudman I showed you before. I have some pocket watches. These are all really poor condition. Remington, NHM, just kind of for display. This one, on the other hand, this one's really cool. It's not actually that old. It's a Railmaster. Forget where it was made in the UK or something. Manual line movement. This thing is super accurate. It keeps great time. I just got this on my desk before I had that desk clock. And that was kind of my desk clock kind of thing. I have the box for the Q&Q back here. And then I have a talking wristwatch by Radio Shack. It doesn't work very well for display. That's why I have that. Let's just pan over these, go through them really quickly. Millen, early pickup. I like that one. It's a field style watch. That's quartz, sharp. I don't wear that one very often. That one's more of like a display, kind of put it in one of my collection things. This is a old Bullseye. I forget what company makes that. A very old company who makes made lots of pocket watches. West Clocks, that was it. Actually, on that Timex over there, I didn't tell you before, but I know I told you in the last collection video. That was my first watch repair. I actually had two of them. One was in really poor condition. It had a really bad case, but ran great. And the other one had a really good movement, but had a really bad case. That was what it was. So anyway, I switched them out. It took a little bit of time. It worked pretty well. There's the remnants of that one. A fake Rolex. This is a Ryu Hazuki, or Ryu Hazumaki. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about video games. Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, something like that. One of those Sega games. This is a watch that was worn by a character in the game, and it's actually pretty rare and valuable. Timex Expedition Indiglo with the green face on there. Probably end up selling this one eventually because these are going for like $250 right now. Just in the collection for right now, I have a Casio over there, kind of a beater, Wave Scepter. Another Millen, kind of desk clock. I like the styling on this one, kind of like an old compass or something, a ship's compass. Timex Indiglo, I was going to try and swap the movements between these if this one didn't keep good time, which I didn't think it was, but I replaced the battery and it seems good. Timex Indiglo though, just another spare one there. The crown on the bottom is loose and pulls out, but it's a pretty cool one nonetheless. Kenneth Cole, this is one of my first watch repairs. I replaced the stem on this one, it didn't go very well, so it's just in my collection for display and whatever. It's kind of a more old-fashioned watch, whatever. Rolex Submariner, no, it's not an authentic one, that's another fake, that's really badly faked. Another one for my collection / display, Biltmore. Here's another cool pocket watch, doesn't run very well. Casio Alarm Chronograph for display. Millen, another one of those. Same one, field watch. I kind of like the look of those. I don't wear them very often, I should wear them more often. Casio Dual Time, haven't done much of this one, just picked it up. Movado, this is another fake. This one here is a Japanese, just unbranded, kind of field watch style thing. This for collection, Timex Indiglo. New strap on that one, but another digital watch that isn't worth a lot. Another flea market fake, but it's not really a fake, it's just a really weird one here. A Chronotron Electric. Or Electra or something there. Really cheaply made watch, doesn't work that well. Timex Q Quartz for display, doesn't run. Caravel, just for display, doesn't run very well. These ones do run. This one needs a new battery. It's a Casio A158, I believe. Yes, A158W. Casio Quartz, little cheapy watch there. Those are pretty nice. Casio A168W. You get strapped back on that. I'm using that on the Timex right now. A little B watch. I don't know why I picked that up, but I picked it up a while ago and it's still in the collection for display to this day. Casio Forester, good little beater analog watch. Runs pretty well. I use that one for basketball and NATO and anything else. That I don't really want to beat up my watches. Casio Databang, Casio F30, Casio A158W, all for display / wearing. A couple of these I do wear, the other ones are for display. This is a cool one. Before I picked up my newest Hamilton there, this is a Vantage 21 Jewels, was sold in the Hamilton catalog. It's not actually a Hamilton, but I guess it was related to Hamilton in some way. It's a manual wind. It doesn't run perfectly. It stops every 6 hours or something, but when it is running, it keeps pretty good time. I like that watch. I like the design of it, the linen dial and all that. Lots of patina. This is one of my favorite watches right here. Early 60s Timex electric watch with that linen dial on there and the back set crown and all that. This thing runs very, very well. As you can see, it's running right now. It actually has a really cool thing. It has the deadbeat seconds movement, which basically means it has a flywheel, or what do they call those in there? Hairspring? I don't remember. Bounce wheel, that's it. Bounce wheel, but then it actually ticks at each second. So you can hear the bounce wheel moving and that clicks each second. It's kind of like deadbeat seconds movement, but it's battery powered. It's a cool military watch. It actually came off of this strap that I had over here. I'm using the strap on something else. US Time, waterproof, or water resistant, I should say. Swiss parts movement. It's a military watch that's used in the US military from what I can understand today. Like that watch just because it's a military watch. I don't have much else to say on that one. I do wear it pretty often. I like that one. So & Co. or Sterling Original & Company. They changed their name a while back. I got this one on eBay Daily Deals for $25. It's a great deal for that. This is a really cool designed watch. They make a lot of different designs. This one, I just wanted to try it out, so I picked one up. Nice watch. I wear that one sometimes. This one's unbranded. Swiss parts or Swiss made. Has a rounded Swiss movement in there. I don't know. Just a random dress watch. Bulova, this one needs repair, but it's a really cool automatic, like jet clipper or jet liner, something like that. 1960s Bulova watch, or Bulova. I don't know how you pronounce that exactly. Casio, that one actually works, just doesn't have a battery in it. Orient X, here's another fake watch, fake flea market watch. A fake Orient, if you will. Manual wind, doesn't work, but just in the collection, because it's a fake, it's kind of interesting. Flea market watch that isn't a fake, this one was $1. For a working calculator watch, made in China, I don't know, just in my collection just to be in there. This is a recent pickup, which I really like. I was looking for one of these for a little while. I believe this is called the Casio, or nicknamed the Casino Royale. Basically, it's very similar to a James Bond watch made by Seiko that was worn in a James Bond movie. Finally picked one up at Walmart, about $25. Been wearing this one a lot recently. Very, very nice. Might get the metal case variant here soon. Voice is starting to go here from all this talking. That's just a big pile of random straps and stuff, and I think that about rounds up that. Some watch boxes over there, but I think that's about it. Anyway, thanks for watching the little wristwatch check thing today. I'll definitely do one more once I get it all on display, all in my new office. When I have more acquisitions, I'm really aiming towards downsizing my cheaper parts of my collection and upsizing on some of the better stuff. I'm looking at something like a Christopher Ward C60 Trident GMT, and I don't know, quite a few other watches. I really have a lot on my list to buy. I want eventually a really old Rolex, so like a 60s Rolex or something, even earlier than that. I like the really old watches are really appealing to me. And I like that kind of stuff. They look like a Hamilton here pretty soon and all that. So the watch collection is always changing, always growing. Whenever I find a new watch and it's at the right price, I'll add it to my collection. And I always wear them in cycles. I wear a different watch every day pretty much, and I can just wear all different types. Anyway, one quick thing, follow me on Instagram if you want to see a bunch of these watches. I do wristwatch checks semi-daily, somewhere in there. Instagram links right there. Go follow me on there, and also subscribe if you want more watch videos and other things coming in the future. That's about it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Noah out. Goodbye.